the cost. Broadcast from the past. Broadcast from the past. Say my name, make it last. Broadcast from the past. I still feel that way. Broadcast from the past. Take me where we stay. The first to knows your steps in the scene by the door. I hear you laughing, the noise like you lived there before. Silver on your sleeve flickers under the blue. Every broken little piece turns and points me to you. Spin me back, spin me slow. Hold that frame, let it glow. One more sun, one more spark. Cool me through from the dark. Broadcast from the past. Come back fast, come back fast. Broadcast from the past. Say my name, make it last. Broadcast from the past. I still feel that way. Broadcast from the past. Take me where we stay. Keep it in the air, keep it half known. Let the signal bend, let it drift home. Your shadow on the glass and it slips away, but I know your shade by the end of the way. Broadcast from the past. Come back fast, come back fast. Broadcast from the past. Say my name, make it last. Broadcast from the past. I still feel that way. Broadcast from the past. Take me where we stay. Broadcast from the past. Come back fast, come back fast.
just about set to go as we take a look at your grid tonight. Greg Mitchell, once again, is a pole sitter. It's so difficult to stop when he's been given clean space. Nathan Dupton is in second. Row 2, Andrew Caldwell, Frank DiMaggio are in the top 4 this evening. Where you throw it back to row 3, that's where you'll find Dustin Payne, Eric Anderson next. Then it's Jared Anderson, sort of alongside Gary Bowman in the field. They're in the top 8 with Edward Jurgen. Chris Rose will start in 10. The race sponsor tonight, Leroy Koblenz, will start in 11th with Brad Holmes down at 12. Mike Stuyvesant starts 13th. Tom Richter in 14th. James Rosell, along with Lee Campbell in the top 16. Matthew Semple starts at 17th tonight, missing a number for some reason, along with Craig Bell. Logan Benzer and Steven Music are in the top 20. Rick Thompson starts 21st tonight. Carl Lawson is in 22nd. Colton Wilkins makes an appearance this evening in the 3 car alongside Larry Bell. Andrew Popejoy will have to make the Lubbock round, was 25th. Alongside Dakota Wilkins, still struggling at the car cranked on pit road. Jackie Brennan and James Afal will be in the top 28. Rounding out your top 30, David Keane 4th, Brandon Thompson. Justin Vason is 31st with Brian Dorsey 32nd. Kendra and Tomlinson the rest of the field. And we can confirm they will have to delay the green because Popejoy did not go. Take a look at weather conditions here tonight for this evening's festivities. Track could be starting about 93, expected to go up about towards 100 if possible. Now, for the rest of the field, it's going to be how do they break down the race? Well, break it down like this, the stages is going to be 40, 90, 1, and then 200 to the end. So 40, 50, 110 in terms of the actual averages. 200 miles on the distance. 70% fueling. They should be able to make it on fuel. The tires are the bigger question mark because there's a lot of tire wear when it comes to Dover Motor Speedway. Lots of people providing webcams once again here this evening. You see all of them as all the drivers focus on what they're able to do to get a checker flag here tonight. A lot of variety when it comes to competitors. Rick Thompson, for example, upper left. You have Thompson down in the cube, down to the upper right. Also have some of those continuing to just make sure their tires are ready when we hit that green flag in about 20 seconds. Happy with us for tonight's coverage of Cyber Thunder and the Rush Championship Series presented by AIG. Mitchell ready to control this field alongside the Canadian and Dufton. Green flag waits up at the stand. The 55 and the 47 hit the gas. Dufton gets the better. Launches were underway. Lead went back to Mitchell, and now he leads the first lap from Dover. Vast majority of the field already single filing out. This is a track. You might see a lot of double diamonding, if you will, in terms of that line to make sure you're going to get the tires underneath you. Andrew Popejoy, though, just came out in front of the leaders. Remember, he did not get the car started properly on pit road, and now he's already a lap down. $25 needed points to help out their situation a little bit, but still had the wild card to back up on. Went around a road course earlier this season. Doesn't seem to be in the same ballpark. Not comfortable right now as Dufton gives it to Caldwell for second. Take a look at Anderson. A lot closer to the camera here tonight, noticing. Obviously, it's too early to tell how the runs are going to go, but you can see he's very chatty what he's feeling in this race car. He's trying to keep the tires underneath him. It looks like Popejoy has steadied his pace down to where he's comparable to some of the leaders for having not too much fire off at all. Caldwell, who showed good pace all throughout the season, including in California previously, rides on. Brennan is your biggest mover early on, by the way. That total, about 7. But really, it's going to be one of those races where if Mitchell doesn't burn up the tires, it's going to be hard to stop him. 55 has that innate ability to dominate races as long as he himself doesn't make the mistakes. It's been a couple races, Kansas, the last time out in fact as well, where he's just made those mistakes. Rick Thompson, 16th to start. He's not keeping up with the lead pack either. He's right now off by a little bit. He is picking up the tempo though. The past couple he did close up 2/10 a lap. The leaders, Person, are running in the 23.6s, 2/10 quicker than what Thompson just had. Matthew Semple starting at the back tonight. We see him up towards the front. He started originally 17th. Here's the thing though, if you look at his back bumper, that car is destroyed, so is the front clip. That's because on the opening laps of this race, on lap 4, he and Mike Stuyvesant made contact on the front straightaway, and it did not bring a caution flag out. He ended up getting rear-ended by Lee Campbell, who somehow got no damage, and Stuyvesant blew a motor. Correction, Wilkins got damage, but the 20 did not burn out a yellow, and we stayed green. Letty Stuyvesant is out of the race as her first DNF of the night. The leaders are looking calm, but of note, it's getting chaotic in the middle of the field. Chris Rose has trouble front straightaway. Same for Bell. They both bounced off the inside wall in the front stretch, and another blow motor. No caution. Stay green here as Bell in the long shot machine. It's bringing up smoke. That's because he was in the ricochet of 3 wide in front of him. See right there, Anderson got contact that started that with Rose. Taking 3 wide, Rose up the track, bounces off Jurgen, who was a bit off the wall, and that sends the 14 into the barrier. And obviously, not how you want things to go as a driver to have bits of contact like that to end your chances this early. 5 sets of tires in the pit lane, mind you. Now, as Thompson's now become the biggest mover of the race all of a sudden, up 8. Caldwell still remains within arm's reach about a quarter of the way through to this first stage. Your designation lap tonight is lap 35. Your fastest lap is controlled by car 46. But right now, the difference is a couple hundreds here and there. They're identical nearly on the past 10 lap pace. Their driver just had issues. Jackie Brennan just had to come down. Remember, was up 7 at one point. 65 apparently had an issue. It just came down pit road and exited the car. So a lot of people are having problems. We're not even 20 laps in as Thompson is on the offensive. Paint scheme tonight for the car he's attacking. That is Rosell that's in front of him in the Starkey paint. One of the paints that you can pick up when it comes to the JGR side. Thompson not yet able to find a way to get around him with the 44, using that higher line as a defensive mechanism. Interesting story for the car right behind him, in line, by the way, for Koblenz. For Leroy Koblenz, sponsor tonight's race. His home track, lives near the track in turn 3, in fact. DiMaggio amongst those pushing along the air of the circuit you see here, though. Frank DiMaggio needs stage points. We talked about this, and this is part of it. Get them, stay up front, do something. Hearing that Holmes is having a technical issue, race control, and some of the drivers are just warning him on the radio. The 00 may be having an issue, and that is being inverted. But Brandon Thompson talked about his cube earlier on in the season as the setup that he runs inside of. Right now, riding fine in the back of the field, has good viewpoints, and a couple drivers battling, in fact, as they get tight off the corner. Here's just how much throttle modulation is going down for Thompson. Really trying to play with it, but also that could potentially, the way he's handling, burn up the tires if it goes 50, 100, 50, 100, 50, 100, just like that. Leaders are going to have lap traffic already pretty soon with the way things are going here, by the way. Anderson yet to make a pass here tonight except on the lap car. Dufton, who has not had the short run speed and is 3/10 off the pace, struggling to find a way to hold on to some of these spots. Right now you see that Anderson has an idea of what he wants to do here. Just took the top line to see if he could build up a run possibly in the 47. There's the diamond, there's the swoop, there's the pass. Anderson top 5. As Dufton falls down and Popejoy tries to figure out a way to get a lap back here, he's going to have a hard time. He just hit the wall for 1. That didn't add damage though. 2, Greg Mitchell has found the afterburners that we expect from him. He just pulled away by more than a second. 3rd, the leaders are in lap traffic for the first time tonight. It's going to become a hornet's nest for some of these competitors here as the camera, maybe turn off the camera here. There it is. There is a camera. Looks a little bit different tonight, but has the Kevin Harvick shirt on this evening. Running 14th. Well, at the moment, 10 seconds behind your leader. They're able to stay on the lead lap is about 26 seconds for reference. There's a look at that leader right now who's already lapped the 67 Mason. Next up in the order is James Kinder. Then he's going to reach Matthew Semple, who has already said on the radio he is destroyed. And outside of that, he gets busy because Tomlinson, followed by Gainforth, Wilkins, Dorsey, Brandon Thompson, once the group's together as we take a look at what will be a battle for second in a moment. Payne's got pace, lap traffic up on the high side. Payne could have used him as a pick, doesn't get there though. Frank DiMaggio will follow the hole also. There's a look at the 81 making the move to the inside. Payne led by. Caldwell recognizing that Payne's got better long run. Doesn't even take the swoop to make the pass attempt back. Now that opens the door for the 24. Caution is out. It's Thompson. The 11 is around for the yellow. First yellow flag of the evening. And claims are awaiting. Remember, he was with Wilkins and company. Wilkins claimed that he is only involved. That's because, take a look at the AI Chief Insta replay and watch the 11th exit. Got loose, went down, and you see the angle, went down into the 78. And that's why the 11 had such a reaction to the inside. Good example will be this angle here as Wilkins is done for the day as a result of this. Right there, you see that little loose moment? Because they're already tied up, there's not a lot of space to catch up on it, and the 11 takes the hit as a result. Might not realize it in the live action, but in the replay, you can see that little bit of lack of grip on the exit right there is enough to just get him hooked. Here's the interesting thing. We're already less than 15 to go on the stage. Not a destination lap yet, but we had two of the leaders pit, and it was both the Andersons, Coblet, Spencer, Larry Bell, Wilkins, Popejoy, all peeling down this time through. So a few cars taking a set, and remember, you don't really want to gamble on staying on older tires if you can. This is a racetrack where tires are shredded easily. That'll leave Mitchell, Pink, Caldwell, DiMaggio, Dufton inside your top five, as I think Eric Anderson actually took a fuel only because of the tire situation. He just came the first off pit road to extend his fuel window. For most of the tracks on iRacing these days are Crookie Yellow circuits, unless it's on the road courses. It gets a bit longer these days on the tempo. Can't confirm the incident is being left unclaimed by the 11. Involved was Wilkins. That's what he reported to race control, so there is likely a chance, unless somebody claims it, for there be a committee, as they usually do at the post-race, to determine fault for incident. Might get ruled racing incident, potentially, too. That is an option. We're at 1 to go. Coming up to an 11-lap dash. Mitchell's been in control so far, but it's going to get interesting how he handles the tire spin here, as Semple fixes up a lot of damage, still is demolished. Mitchell and company are going to have to fight with the grip in the outside. It's been a little bit better with the tire spin lately. All the drivers you see here, not as much concern as I think some may say. Mind you, one of them still into pit road. Brent Thompson. Just continuing to fix his car. But two forever rowdies on the hoods of the drivers up front, the 55 and the 81. Again, Cowboys still in the minds of many. They've been putting tributes on many different drivers' paint schemes. Memory of Kyle Busch, who passed now about 2 weeks ago. Restart is on, and look at that. Ping did not even go. As a matter of fact, it is near a parking lot on the outside. Payne and DiMaggio dropped 4 spots. A horrific start for Payne as we come up to 10 laps to go. Everyone continuing to straighten up down the straightaway. Dufton picked up a lot of ground and is going to have to fight that car. Somehow, some way, Brad Holmes is in 4th, by the way. Part of that is after technical issues, he's been able to find some pace. Then the fresh tires. You have drivers like Jared Anderson making their way through. He's the highest up on tires. Big gamble for the 5. Here's Tom Richter. Pretty quiet start to the race for him. He's looking to try and get DiMaggio peeled off from the top. Will, in fact, get him peeled off. Payne didn't even block it off. Here comes the 34. Dufton trying to hold on the outside as now Holmes is in the fender. They both straighten it out. Here comes Richter. Dufton just does not have the car right now. Taking 3 wide down the back. Now 3 wide still. Rick Thompson forced it. Anderson is already in the top 10 on the fresher tires. The 5 is flying through the field and cutting through it like butter. There's a chance if it stays green that 5 takes the stage win. Able to zip his way to the top 5, make it top 4. Look how confident he looks in the eyes. He's got a lot more roll speed. Holmes stays up high. Designation point this time. Mitchell and Caldwell pulled away by near 2 seconds. Anderson needs to be hard on the pace quickly. His pace, 4/10 quicker. That was Wow making a pass though. What's it gonna look like in clean space? As Caldwell gets the bobbles, Anderson gets the flying pace. He closed up about 6/10 that time by. On the speedometer, it was 8/10. On the eye test, it was about 6. Regardless, it's under a second. Anderson burning up a set here to try and get a stage win. Get himself important points for the standings. He's up to second. Mind you, he is 11th in the standings coming into tonight. In a battle with Carter Lawson for the 10th spot. If he can get this stage win, it would help him so much to make sure he does not drop out with a couple races to go. From the top 12 to the race lead goes to 5 with 3 laps to go this time at stage 1. Anderson is flying. Obviously the thought at the end of the stage will be what he's going to do on tires from here. Chris Rose is the edge of the top 10 with damage. For Rose, he was not one of those who took tires, but he's got Jurgen to his inside. That's why he's up the track. Also has Andrew Popejoy still trying to get a lap back here. Popejoy needs to make sure nothing happens in front of him. He is in the lucky dog spot. Coming up to 1 to go. 25 needs to make sure no one touches him. Will be finish up lap 40. Look at that move to the inside. That was Logan Spencer on fresh tires forcing it. 1 to go in stage 1. Oh, and Spencer lost it. Got loose on the entry. But up front, Jared Anderson fast throughout this one. Got to the pack in less than 7 laps. He brings his Toyota Supra to the green-white checker. Mitchell and Caldwell in the top 3. Holmes, Richter, Payne, Thompson, Maggio, Dufton, Spencer for your top 10. And as Jared Anderson adjusts something out of his seat, the 5 gets it done. Tire pack will catch up here with the Monster 200 for pit stops. You'd have to think with 4 tire sets remaining, there's a thought, obviously, on a stop here. Anderson using one of his bankers, if not the main banker, to pick up a stage win. Five cameras remaining, by the way, after we lost Mike Stuyvesant from an early incident off camera. Everybody else is working the buttons and trying to make sure they've got their pit command sorted. It looks like Anderson will come in and take a set here. Look at Spencer, though. Might also come down, yes. It is not good to stay out on 12-lap older tires, even at Dover. Somebody tell that to Colton Wilkins. He just stayed on the racetrack. Popejoy's the lucky dog. That's why he's out there. He can take a service in a minute. But the only driver not to pit is car 83. Wilkins not in the conversation for the postseason. A roll in the dice and a half by one of the Canadians in the field. One of those, I think, just one of those running with the D license outside of this series. You're about to learn a lesson very quickly after pit stops, as Mitchell's going to be getting a great opportunity to launch to the restart zone with Caldwell, Richter, Holmes, Rick Thompson up there also. Of note, the 5 has not exited pit road. The Monster 200 continues after this.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Monster Mile, Dover Motor Speedway. Justin Prince with you, Ryan Power, producer, using cameras behind web blast sim cams. Coming up to start stage 2. Remember this run up to lap 90. Green flag is out, back and away. Wilkins did peel down the second time for a pit stop and elected to go to the back. So the 55 got clean track instead of pandemonium. Maggio Munsto is just clapping the wall as everyone else rumbles their way through 3 and 4. Caldwell's been good on short run, but the long run has, again, similar to that, Laguna Seca has been difficult this evening. Caldwell has to, if he wants to win this race, pressurize that 55 into some sort of any mistake again, because he's been prone to a couple of them in this quest for the championship so far. All the drivers here at this point continuing to see what will happen on this run. Logan Spencer letting cars go. Rick Thompson is in the top 5. This is much better for the expectations for the 76. Running much better than where he qualified. Up 16 now. That number's tied for the most on the race with Brian Dorsey. Speed Mafia machine, I think, will be one of those comfortable by the time we finish up tonight. When it comes to cut line for the postseason, that's not the question. The seeding on how that will look after tonight. There's still a couple races to go. It's going to get interesting with how many of the bonus points picked up in stages, etc. this season. Competitors do get that idea of the playoff grid coming in. Again, that number Mitchell would have over everybody else. This is how dominant he has been when it comes to not only victories, but total points picked up with the seeding. He would, with the ranks, unofficially have a gap upwards of 25 points. The 55 would over Cody Gibson. Gibson has 3 wins, Mitchell has 4. Every other car that's gotten a win has not entered the multi-win club this season. Seen their Thompson got the 4th spot. Rick Thompson is the highest out of anyone without a win. You know what that gets him? With 1 playoff point earned this entire run, that carries over as well as 5 total bonus points and 101 stage points. The round 1 start is only 5,001. That would put him just 1 point ahead of the majority of the field. Hopejoy would technically have even a higher jump because he got a win That ended up getting 5 points, and that's if he gets one of the wild card seeds still. Thompson still trying to pick up his tempo, get around Holmes. Holmes would be one of 4, make it 3. That would start with 5,004 points in a few weeks' time as things stand. How the stages have gone when it comes to the double zero with stage wins and total bonus points picked up from various runs. Remember, you get at least 5 points coming from the win category alone. Right now, things are looking steady in terms of DiMaggio, by the way. Dufton tries at least a poke. Not going to happen this time. By the way, for those wondering, where is Cody Gibson? Well, he made a post earlier today on, oh, my ride for tonight. It's a plane from Southwest. In other words, he is not here. He's on an airplane. Fortunate, because there would have been a good chance with his record here, doing pretty solid with one machine. All that's to be said, we're already coming up towards lap 60 pretty soon. Good run so far, about 14 plus laps on the tires so far. Semple is about to fall a lap down ahead of the field. Brian Dorsey, his pickup on spots, or one of those who did not put up qualifying times, really got track position all tonight. He is the highest out of anybody who has not set a lap. Tomlinson is 23rd, Kinder is 26th. A little bit of checkups in front of the 24. That's because Pete did take a look on Tom Richter. Made it clear tonight. Was looking to bring the Battle Beaver here this evening. This Bucky scheme. As again, Dufton is going for it. Dufton wants to prove that he's got a car that can at least compete for spots in this part of the run. Gets crossed right on up though. You can see that coming right to the wall. Here comes Jurgen. Edward Jurgen ready to clear by Dufton because of his mistake. And that's the counter you have to be prepared for setback. He set it up perfectly for DiMaggio. All that's to be said, the battle for third has now become a bottleneck. You're 2 seconds behind the leaders. Right now, Holmes and Thompson still not backing down. They're running a half a second a lap off the pace to the top two. Richter, it looks like, has a little bit of pace here. He ran comparable to the leaders. That was on the charge to get right here, and now he's boxed in two. Gets a big run. Now he's going to try past the 76 instead. Thompson forced to the inside, and now Rick Thompson's plan does not work out. Richter takes advantage. Right now, Richter amongst those who's definitely put up the battle, up 10 so far tonight to get the fourth. Holmes ready to do it again. Now, we mentioned in terms of the background when it comes to Holmes, one of the main people over at Sauble. There's a lot of excitement about their upcoming race weekends because just had some action previously the past few days. Now we're looking to do it all over again. You'll see some racing end off the month of May. Talking about a lot of the performance of the night folks still going on. Music coming up through the field. Look at all these checkups here. That includes Spencer having issues here in the 09. Able to pick up almost 3 spots in a lap. Caution flag is out. It's a spin and it's Richter. The 34 is in it. So is Rick Thompson. And we're under caution. That's because Brad Holmes got hooked around in the battle for third. AI Chief instant replay. Remember they were fighting intensely previously, Thompson and Holmes? Well, it got to this battle. Both of them got away from the wall on the straightaway. Holmes trying to move up. Richter went higher, and that stacks them all up. As a result, Thompson picks up damage. Holmes got heavy left rear. Right there. Hook around. Tech issue on top of it, it looks like. That causes a scramble. Rick Thompson, despite getting involved in the incident, did get to keep his positions, though. Stay in the top 3. That's because spins there. Then he got tagged after the yellow came out. Tom Richter has taken the claim on that caution, and this opens another strategy door, possibly. Maybe. Ran 24 laps again. Tom Richter, for obvious reasons, Munso is going to come down here. Campbell is down. Bowman is down. Music, Spencer, and a few others peeled down for pit stops. Laurie Bell. But here's the big thing, as you see with the viewpoints here on the racetrack. Thompson did not pit, but did ask about the damage on the radio. All this is getting set to see where things fly here tonight. I will say, it's going to be exciting to be near a racetrack. Yes, it can be allowed during the race seasons, but in the case of Koblenz, they did put an underdog, or rather underscore on the potential name tonight as the "we can see Leroy's house from here 200. They jokingly said during the briefing earlier today. You can walk within distance of a venue. It can definitely be an interesting time for you. Obviously speaking here, things have taken some interesting turns here tonight so far. Again, as we pace along, we're getting ready for a restart. Reminder, we run up to lap 90, then after that, could get interesting on tire sets. On fuel, you can probably see a one stop based on the 70%. But it really depends on what the field actually wants to do here. How cooperative they are. Tire pack getting itself situated and ready to go once again. It's going to be Mitchell, Caldwell, Thompson, Payne, Jurgen, DiMaggio wants the top 6 here. Let's take a listen in and listen to these car sounds in a moment. Again, you're watching Precision Entertainment. We continue on here with the Rush Championship Series presented by AI Chief, the Monster 200. Mitchell looking for the launch. How does this go? Green, green, green. the battling, Jurgen and Thompson as expected. Thompson losing ground here. Damage not going to help him. Still dealing with it as we zip about. Long run, it's going to hurt him with the downforce. This is becoming a roadblock for a couple competitors with the outside being taken by the 76. He definitely knows next caution might have to come down, get that damage fixed, then think about what he can do from there. All of them is still getting himself sorted out here. Popejoy is on the lead lap. It's now your second biggest move of the race, in fact. So 25 finally getting back to about where he was supposed to start. In fact, he's past that point. All the field competitors try to track down the 55. Danisto Mitchell is the 10th quicker in the field. Here's Eric Anderson. He's going for 9th. Take a listen on this fight. Take a look at the air chief instant replay. Contact you just seen live. Chris Rhodes sent hard into the barrier, collected by a couple others. Let's see this one more time. See right there the slide up and the contact. Popejoy with a little bit of contact. That destroys an Eric Carr's day, a couple Carr's days, just like that. Right now, keeping an eye on some of the drivers in the heart of the field. Brian Dorsey's driven to the top 10 here. Will take away the 8th spot. In fact, it's looking really good all of a sudden. The 9 really taking advantage on this stage on positioning. The highest up on the tire strap, though, is Tom Richter. Remember, was involved in that caution earlier. He is cutting through the field pretty quickly, too, using his set to try and win stage 2 points. Plenty of laps when it comes to this stage, and Richter is definitely in position to potentially rip away this stage. Everything's getting chippy on the radio once again as things heated up with some of the others on their navigation skills. But right now, Richter is in position with how things are going to pick up points. Remember, is on the cut. And it comes to top 12 by 10 entering tonight. Richter already making the way that time, through for second. Now ready to go for the race lead. Here comes Richter. Inside 34, outside 55. No contest. Richter takes the race lead, takes it away. Of note, Brad Holmes officially done for the night. He's parked it after his earlier incident. About 8 laps to go. 34s now put themselves in an interesting spot here, being now one of those who has used the extra tire set will still, by the math, have a couple sets to work with maybe in the final stage, if anything. So, isn't really in a bad spot. Is just electing to use the set because he had a set. Now it's set himself for good success here. Keep in mind, Gary Bowman also is doing the same thing. He just flew to second. Brian Dorsey's about to fly to third for his best run at a stage all season. Don't look now though, Anderson is amongst those also on this call. He is again ready to pick up more stage points in his regard to again get ahead of some of the others. Carter Lawson hasn't picked up any stage points here tonight. And right now for the 98 machine would be passed by the 5 as things run. Mike Stuyvesant going to feel a lot of pressure potentially from the 5 for that 9th spot, if not already. After that, Cody Gibson's got a cushion, but it was only 50 points before missing tonight. Under 5 to go in the stage. Dorsey able to zip by the 55. Mitchell again playing the long game with the tire sets. We've already passed the designation lap. Right now, everybody keeping themselves steady, it looks like, at the end of the stage as the shade hits the racetrack. Past 2 p.m. in sim time. For those just tuning in, nearly 2:30 in fact. Yeah, a lot more cloudier when it started partly cloudy skybox. Now that weather still looks partly cloudy. It's just heavy cloud cover for now. Tom Richter coming at 2 to go in the stage for a car to 34. Richter's had a phenomenal second stage outside of course, the incident that sparked him onto the strategy. He's really capitalized from it, hasn't he? Goes from battling for the top 3 to taking a set and already getting himself back to the front within the span of about 15 or so laps. 1 to go in the stage. Gary Bowman is actually faster than him, but there's not enough time unless 34 makes a big mistake for the 8 to get there. Couple cars in front. They're not going to become a factor though. Tom Richter takes advantage of an incident, then comes away with the stage. 34 wins stage 2. Gary Bowman second, Brian Dorsey third, Mitchell Anderson, Jared Anderson should say, Caldwell, Payne, Music, Jurgen DiMaggio. How the top 10 fare out this stage. This might get interesting depending on late race cautions here with the way things are looking here tonight. It's becoming that type of an evening where if you pick the right time to take an extra set and you get a long run, congratulations, you have a lottery ticket that you just won. No. All get themselves geared up for pit lane this time through. Take a look at the pit lane as they get situated. It looks like everybody, as expected, going to take a set here. A lot longer of a run compared to the end of the last one. You see the previous Tower Gamble. The entire field come in and take their 4 tires and fuel, and then set themselves up for the long stage 3. Dorsey already finishing up their stop. Tom Richter finished up their stop. A lot of the other drivers just putting their hands up before they even start to get to the gears. As you can see, Richter with an advantage over Bowman. They both keep track position this time with the 55. Dorsey kept the top 4 also. Mitchell will start in 3rd as he's led a majority of the laps here tonight. More coverage from Dover Motor Speedway. After this, you're watching Precision.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Ready to start stage 3 for the Monster 200 as the entire pack rumbles its way to the restart zone. Let's take a listen in. Stage 3 underway. Take a look at some of the drivers as they zip through early on here on the stage. Mitchell did drive his way up to 2nd. However, nothing doing to try and get around the race later yet. Dustin Payne, who's been up in the top 5 for much of the way, he's down in 8th after the restart. This time through, he did lose time again in pit road. That's why he's back behind some of these drivers. Dorsey on equal footing is not as comfortable. Oh, Rosell nearly lost it down the back straight away. Held on to into the 44 as we still see the 9 have issues holding onto their car. Dorsey had to get out of the gas. Jurgen Amonsos, who takes advantage. That was all to try and battle for the 5th position. Up for the race lead though. Mitchell's got the long run. Now can he get the long run to work while in traffic? It's the biggest test of his day right here. Right now, Mitchell preferring the lower line. Richter trying to use a higher end to start off the corner. It's not working out to get a chance yet. But it's going to be interesting for the tire wear. Richter going with the older Dover line we used to see from years ago. Right now, you look at your biggest movers. Brian Dorsey's still the biggest with plus 24 now. We had a lot of attrition tonight. We start with 34. We have 25 remaining. Of those, not all of them are in the lead lap either. We only have 22 on that distinction. Anderson ended up getting a black flag and being lapped down. Garrett Anderson's 5. Runs now 23rd. First car lapped down, needs a caution. A little bit of squabbling yet again. DiMaggio led him by Jurgen. Pains already driven by them all. That's the long run pace kicking in again for the 81 machines here tonight. But DiMaggio's ran the type of race he needed to run. Eric Anderson has not been in the top 10 really much of the night for the stage points. So the 24 has definitely thrived to close up a bit on the gaps. The outside is Richter's up in front. Fall. Part-time starts for him. 17. This Hornet's Nest also quotes Rick Thompson. He has a chance to be back in the top 5 pretty soon. He's got the car fixed, no more damage, no more issues potentially for the 76. Just has to take his time on his tires. Duffton right now running in the top 10. His car. Just watching along as DiMaggio struggling a little bit on this mid run. 13 or so laps in, right behind Dorsey, who's picked up. Steven Musical also has been able to maintain his track position. The 9, pretty good ability here. So 93 laps to go at the stripe. Richter still holds serve up in the front. A one-stopper on the gas, maybe two-stopper on the tires here though. This is the track where if you're gonna have blow a tire, it's here. Here we go for the race lead. Mitchell got alongside on the exit. Richter has the opportunity to still try and defend though. The 55's long run pace is kicking in. Richter has a little bit more boost for the straights, but Mitchell's got more rotation. A little bit deeper initially for the center. Richter's getting tight. This should give it to the 55, it will. Mitchell takes the race lead. Caldwell for second. And there's the tire wear kicking in, to say the least. Now Caldwell going to get himself alongside for second. And Richter, all I can do is let him try and at least fight. It's going to make it easy. You see there with the exit, did get the throttle just before he got tight. Now Caldwell has to get stuck quick because he's seen the 55 run. Richter still not giving the spot up, and that's why Caldwell has had to reset. Bowman's losing ground, by the way, to Dustin Payne in the background. Payne is up to 4th as well as they reach lap traffic. There's Bowman. I think Bowman has a car that can keep at the top 10 after the strategy call. question will be, will he live up to that expectation? He was running the 25.1s last time. The leaders are in the 6s. 24 6s. Eric Anderson, well into the heart of the Hornets' nest. Right now running about 13th. Right behind Andrew Popejoy, who has dropped out of the top 10. Rick Thompson's also hit a plateau here. Brian Dorsey, my goodness, had to get hard off the gas. And that checked up the entire line. Eric Anderson takes the chance to zip around. Eric alongside Popejoy. Larry Bell with a popcorn seat. Squeeze off for the 25. So much about tire conservation, I should say, when it comes to Monster Mile. We've seen it all night. Larry Bell, not usually one of the names talk too much about in this series. He's done well this evening to keep it out of trouble. Thompson is now battling for 9th though. Music. Let him go. Rick Thompson able to zip up to the 9th position here. His car continues to set sail and sail away. Look at Caldwell, he's got to run. Went on the apron though, that's not how you get that done. But too low, cost him a chance, he's going to have to reset again. Did keep it alongside a little bit though. Maybe something there because Richter didn't get the run he needed to get clear again. And Richter's tight. Now that's playing into Caldwell's hands all of a sudden. Richter's right sides are going away. .34, Tom Richter still going to defend this out. But the 46 of Caldwell, one of the Canadians in the field, still keeps it along. Now tucked back in line. There's the clearance again, and here comes Peyton Bowman. They've also brought Edward Jurgen into the fight as well. All of them tucked in, lined up together. Jurgen's having a solid day. The Jurgen's lawn care machine looking to mow through the field. One of his best runs of the season. 92. Seems to really like this track. We still have 80, coming to 79 laps to work with. Richter, for his sake, still continues to play defense. And for now, Caldwell, all he can do is get a run alongside, but can't complete because that 34 gets tight sometimes, but so does Caldwell at the same time he gets tight. That's why Payne is in the situation where he can try and drive by them all. Oh, there's the 67 on the wall. It's got out of the way. Here we comes the pile up though, bouncing off the wall to get out of the way. That's the big factor. Expected to come up here. Lap traffic. Going to be busy. All this craziness continuing to pop up here where Jurgen's not able to do much with it yet. Just too much traffic. Music has gone from running in the top 10 to 13th now. 10 seconds behind the leader. It is not good. Oh, and there's Spencer nearly getting rammed into that 09. It has killed the right front. That tire is burned up. It's basically our longest run of the day, consecutive lap-wise. Majority of the time by now we've had a caution and then stayed on the older rubber. Drive on around, and this, one of your closer battles per se on the track, instead of course second. Leader has gone to the thick of traffic by the way. Mitchell has Semple, Campbell, a thaw, who just bounced off the wall to deal with in a moment. Jurgen, for his sake, rumbling his way, still behind the 8. Diamond is there, the cut is there. And Jurgen looks to set something up on a platter. Richter at this point just has to be thinking, don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake. Just drive my line, keep it calm. That's kind of the expectation when you have a race like this here tonight. Right now, Richter, no, you can't stop at Buc-ee's, that's afterwards. Curious. But Buc-ee's building the self. The nearest Buc-ee's, there's actually a apparently future Buc-ee's, according to Google, that apparently would show up 2.5 hours away outside Washington, D.C., around Virginia area, if that is true. Can't confirm. The map does say by 2028, there'll be a Buc-ee's within 3 hours of this facility. Well, interesting enough, there would be one just outside of Richmond, Virginia, Kent County. Apparently it's being built for 2031. Lap traffic playing a factor here. Caldwell able to get around along with Richter. Fall really slowing down the tempo in the major motorsports machine. It's the 46 rides. Hearing a pit stop was called on the radio. James Fall, who's lapped down with it. So some people who are laps down already thinking you're finishing up the race early or missed the pit road. The two just missed it and nearly hit the wall. Still the battle's on for second on screen, but James Fall just about clobbered the wall. We still stay green. Those curious, Mitchell does have a dominating lead as we turn with under 66 to go. It's almost 4 seconds, the interval. The longest run of the day. Caldwell's got an air chance. Is he taking to the inside? No. Likes to go to the outside. Now sets back up with the set. You see it up the road from DiMaggio. Caldwell's set didn't work out at all. DiMaggio trying to slow roll to get to Jurgen. Can we lurch towards him? No. Is the answer this time again. looking at Caldwell's posts, this is still going to become a spot where it's probably going to be a pit stop decision. Whoever pits first probably holds on to second. And Brian Dorsey just pit. And then came down pit road again. So Dorsey has lost multiple laps now because of pit road issues. The 9 ended up pitting, not speeding on entry, but remember, this is an awfully slow pit road. He went up to 37, up to 40, then realized it was 35. And now Dorsey is serving a pit road penalty in live action. Lap traffic has joined in. Look at Rossell open the door. And Caldwell couldn't fill it. So multiple drivers having issues here during this sequence. The 46 is alongside again. It's going to last this time. Richter is going to have lap traffic as a pick here because Casey Tomlinson is well off the pace. Tomlinson stays down to the inside, gets out of the way. Richter gets himself clear for a moment, but leaves the door opening for Caldwell to slow roll the bottom. 60 laps to work with in this race. 55 has pulled away now by 5.5 seconds. And now Bowman has an opportunity to do something to pass them all. Don't think he got a big enough lead off the corner though. Bowman is trying the outside swoop. It's not working to cut underneath yet. Good racing here tonight amongst the field as Bowman lets on by DiMaggio. His actions on the top did not work. Getting close to the green line on fuel. If you look at your lap counts on those and stint lanes, we're at 50, including the pace laps. And the longer they go, the more better obviously it will be to set up for the end of this one. No one wanted to take the chance of a caution mid-cycle yet. Let's see the leaders. Caldwell, DiMaggio now side by side. Bowman looks to try and find a way to close back up to the 24. Will the chance be there yet? Not yet. Payne, mind you, has settled in behind these cars as Payne has really backed down the pace by 0.2 compared to them. See him right there in the 81. So right now, Payne's struggling to get a little bit of something rolling. As DiMaggio ready to roll around Caldwell. One of the best races with a 24 in a while. Kentucky was pretty solid based on memory. Now he's in the podium spots again for the first time in a while since that point. James Vaughn done for the night. Now joins the list of DNFs. We're down to 24 remaining in the race at Dover. Justin Basin had issues on pit road and kept it slow. 67 keeps it green, and Tom Richter slow on the bottom, watching the traffic. Here comes DiMaggio. Richter bobbles. DiMaggio with the run to the inside. 24 slides up the racetrack as the 34 now pays the price. Here we go, pit stop time. Richter said, I've got to come in. We're in the window. This to get to the end. Bowman also came on down. Very tough entry. Not as much barnable buildup as you would think down on the entry today. But in some cases in Coke races, it is disastrous, that entry. So many people can miss that pit lane, and Greg Mitchell has all the cushion in the world to extend this run as far as he wants. The longer he goes, the more pace he'll have to end the race. Unless he'll have to panic about fuel. and he'll still have 2 sets in the pits. Here again, once those that still is finishing up service, by the way. Number one, going to take about, in turn, about 47 to 49 seconds in the lane, not including the entry and exit lanes. Payne. Those are joining pretty soon. DiMaggio's already indicated it stops on the button. O'Reilly came down. Leader is in. Thompson is in. Kinder is in. Payne is not in. So Payne will lead laps, and Mitchell comes to pit road. Jared Anderson amongst those who just called for upcoming pit stops is Mitchell, well in command all throughout the day today. Looks to control his destiny with Payne now coming in this time. That leaves Carter Lawson yet to pit. He's really rolling that car with damage. Mitchell is off and away. And Mitchell just now going to see where he is on laps. Actually, going to complete a pit stop at Dover without losing a lap. How about that? Lawson, for some reason, lifted hard early. Look at DiMaggio. He's alongside. This is for the lead. Payne still finishing up service. The 24 DiMaggio. He ended up taking a couple lap undercut and got right up to the 55. If he wants to get this done and see if he can defend, he needs to pass before these tires melt away. Looks like Mitchell's speed is there, though. It's already building up a distance. Looks like DiMaggio, at the very least, going to put himself now with this call in position to be in the top 3 at minimum. Bowman, though, will have a little bit of something to deal with here with older tires, though. Richter was on older tires. DiMaggio just with the speedy enter with the pit road, and that may have really put himself in a good spot here to pick up a lot of points when needed. Under 50 laps to go here for today's action. Continue on. Here's the way the top 10 looks. Mitchell, DiMaggio, Richter, Bowman, Caldwell, Jurgen, Thompson, Hopejoy, Dufton, Eric Anderson are your current top 10 as laps tick away. Take a look as Bowman losing some ground. That's Caldwell. Caldwell, a little bit fresher tires than the 8. That was an opportunity and a possibility with the way that strategy worked out. Now Richter has to battle again just to hold on to the podium. Right now, Caldwell just trying to find the edge. That's the big thing. Can he get something, anything, alongside and actually make a pass here? Side by side we go. As you can see, the runs continue to get there. When it comes to 34, Richter, once again pokey to keep himself along with the runs. Rosell comes in for his extra set of tire utilized. As right now Caldwell just again, no for the pass. Popejoy, tech issue, top 10. Popejoy just lost a ton of points because he yet again has had an issue. And it looks like he is about to lose connection to the server, which means he is about to lose a ton that he needed when it comes to his points to figure out if he can get in and at least help himself. He's got the wild card, yeah, but obviously don't want to bank on that for the next 2 races because anything can happen at Dega, especially to end it. Lots of lap traffic to deal with pretty soon. Right now, as Brandon Thompson's now done for the day also to join the list. Lap traffic has been somewhat solid today. This time it comes at a bit of an awkward time as Tomlinson went down the track, but hasn't been to where people have had to slam on the brakes and put on the emergency blinkers. Machio still rides second. Rick Thompson ready to ride 6th if he can get alongside Jurgen. Looks like he's got better pace here. It's because 3-lap fresher tires, the 76 has a chance, and Jurgen already said you can have it. Jurgen not wanting to fight too hard here, knowing the tire splits. He's trying to take the points. Focus on the next one. For those curious on the upcoming schedule in the next couple rounds, Brian Dorsey is sponsoring the race at Echo Park Speedway, the Legacy version, also known as Dover Motor Speedway. Talladega is your cutoff race, sponsored by Andy Cork. Mind you, the postseason's an interesting one because that first round, only 2 races per round, the battle for the championship. That includes the road course at Daytona, not the Oval, and Darlington. It's a cut. Rockingham, Martinsville for the next bracket, Pocono and Homestead. It's a little bit of a unique schedule. That'll take us all the way to early August. This season's definitely showcased some interesting product, to say the least, this season when it comes to this campaign. A lot of loyal drivers, a lot of flame emojis with Monster 200 logos today. Hearing that Brian Dorsey has to back out of his situation, only 30 laps in. He said he's pitting. Not sure why. Will not be able to make it to the end. I think he's trying to split it up equally to the end. So Dorsey's points go for possible top 10 run to all of a sudden in line for what will be at best 21st. Popejoy did return to the racetrack, by the way. Came back to the server after significant technical issues, and Popejoy has the problems as we see the battles going on with Thompson and Bowman. Thompson on the inside of the 8. Bowman trying to give space, lets Thompson go. 76 back up 16 again. Up in the top 5 for the first time since the damage. based on the speed right now, might be able to get up to the top 3 opportunity, but he needs to close up a second. Last time by, they were running while battling as high as the 25 flats. Leaders still at the 24.7s. Pretty clear that Greg Mitchell yet again is the king of this field. And there's no doubt about it with the way things have gone. You cannot find a way to beat him unless you find a way to keep him in traffic. Easier said than done, obviously. That's been the season, and that's why you'll likely be your favorite for the postseason. It means say likely with quotations. Will definitely be. It's like Jurgen taking a poke back there, by the way. You've seen him cut to the inside. That's because he got around lap traffic. Richter still doing a solid job, not letting Caldwell even get a chance around him for the past, give or take, 70, 80-ish laps. .25 to go. Just 25 laps to go from Dover. I hope you've enjoyed today's action. Again, under the weather here today, here on Precision Entertainment, but the store and the stories go on here tonight. Caldwell has a lot of traffic to deal with pretty soon. Would like to get something going before they reach it. Don't think it's going to happen again unless Richter pushes up the track. Didn't really push up that time. But we'll get a chance to maybe think of a move. Will not take it again. Just remaining patient. Traffic moves out of the way. Up the racetrack goes Kinder. They all zip their way on through as they work their way up to turn 3. Caldwell. No. Again. Oh, trouble. Front straightaway. Jurgen made contact with lap traffic back there. That was Kinder. The 92 and his fellow compatriot were able to save it. We stay green. Coming bad with contact to the fender. Here we go again. Caldwell again taking a poke. Guess who's there? It's Rick Thompson trying to rip away their podiums. Brian Dorsey on fresh tires also there. Does Dorsey think about a 3 wide? No, in fact, Caldwell gets clear of Richter. Richter lets the 46 go after battling all stage. Thompson tries to get by quicker. '76 trying to stay to the door. No traffic this time to battle with, but the run is there if the Speed Mafia car can get it. Larry Bell, newest DNF of the night. Lee Campbell just came down pit road, tried to stretch it for a caution, didn't get it. Up the racetrack goes the 76. 34 continues to give space. Door to door, wheel to wheel, back straightaway. Coming to 17 to go. Thompson not giving too many breaks here. Richter bounced off the wall, in fact, this time. There's So small advantage to the Ford. Got enough of a advantage to clear. There's another cut hit to the wall for Richter, still kept there. Now Bowman's reeling them up both down as there goes the 76. Rick Thompson now up to the 4th position. Coming up to 15 laps to go. See how much Bowman is trying to work this car to find a way to get around the wounded 34. Wounded, I mean, in the way of the tires are going for Richter. He's on an equal strategy to the 8, but doesn't seem to have the same pace as he did earlier. Still a solid points day for Richter if he can even hold on to this. Worst he could drop realistically would be maybe to 7th at worst, as if he fell off a cliff. Take a look at the race leader. This is Mitchell. Gap still staying about a 2.5 or so, but the 55 has been untouchable tonight. 151 laps led so far this evening. Not much else you can say other than welcome back to victory lane. A chance for a 5th victory for Mitchell. Coming up to 10 laps to go from the Monster Mile, Dover Motor Speedway. Those just tuning in, Mitchell's dominated the day. He's got a gap of almost 1.7 seconds over DiMaggio, who's got his best run since Kentucky. Caldwell in the top 3, but Thompson trying to reel him down. Needs to close up a second. This is still inside the top 10 on screen. Dustin Ping back out of the run, the long part of the run, around 40 laps. Those tires go into mush land. Eric Anderson keeping himself close here, looking to see if he can poke. Richter now trying to hold on to the outside. Bowman on the inside. Yates been looking better tire wear wise, and Richter hits the wall, nearly popped into the 8. Just about got turned by Campbell also. Richter with the hardest contact of the day on the outside, it seems, but no damage. No contact for the others, and Payne has lost a spot to the Petty Blue. All these drivers continue to try and find a way, the best way they can, to move ahead on the racetrack. Payne amongst those who's had an up and down night, but is in position for still a top 10. Coming up to the final 5 laps here. All the battles for the most part has now seen separation. Richter's fallen off the cliff indeed. He is not in range though to get reeled in by Jurgen, who has fallen off by 5 seconds. The leader of Mitchell, though, All he's got to do is avoid hitting anybody. No contact, no troubles. And he can get himself win number 5 to match his car number. What, 5 on 55. Mitchell is definitely looking like he is the one that can conquer just about any type of racetrack you throw at him. Next week might be another one of those where he has an opportunity. That cutoff race could go any way, in any shape. Matthew Semple has already said on the radio, I don't want to see this 55 car again. Carter Lawson's about to fall a lap down in front of him to close out this race, but we're coming up to 2 laps to go. Semple was chatting on the radio and slammed the wall down. Oh, Lawson parking in for the leader. What is going on here? Now Lawson moves up to the top. Bit of a scare for Mitchell to end this one off. We're coming up to the white flag this time by. Final time around from Dover Motor Speedway. Mitchell outright dominant again. More than 160 lead laps here tonight. Clean traffic to go around. No one in front that can cause any spills or any incidents. For the 5th time this season, the 55 takes a checker flag. Greg Mitchell wins at Dover. Great day in the office if you're a Mitchell fan. And now, as DiMaggio and Caldwell join on the podium, once again, Mitchell looks to celebrate on the front stretch. Celebration time. Car 55 gets number 5 in victory lane. So Greg Mitchell gets the job done tonight here for the Monster 200. Post-race coverage coming up. Watch Precision Entertainment.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver. While the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Welcome back to Dover for tonight's post-race coverage, or what was an interesting one for Rush Championship Series presented by AI Chief Racing. Now, Greg Mitchell, dominant. 5 wins on the season. He led 164 laps tonight over DiMaggio and Caldwell. Rick Thompson got the top 5 along with Gary Bowman. Then Tom Richter, Edward Jurgen, Eric Anderson, Dustin Ping, Nathan Dupton on the lead lap. They were the only lead lappers left. Music Spencer gained 4th. Amonso's a lap down with Jared Anderson. Then Semple was 3 down along with Tomlinson. 4 down for Lawson and Kinder. 5 down for Rosell. 6 for Dorsey. Andrew Popejoy after tech issues. 21st after being on as high as the top 10. That will stay. Lee Campbell was 22 laps down. Larry Bell 24. Justin Vason down in 24th. Fall, Wilkins, Coblentz, Rose. With Holmesen, Brandon Thompson. All of those drivers DNF'd obviously without those lap counts. Wilkins, Brennan, Crank Bell, and Mike Stoverson were out of the race also. Andrew Caldwell gets himself down into the 3rd position. He's on the podium. Andrew, he had to fight hard just to have a chance for the top 3. How would you describe the battles tonight?
It was tough out there, man. It was really hard to pass. I tried everything early on to get past Tom. He did a great job holding me off, and man, it was tough. Just no matter what you did, whatever lane, just the car in front really played a big role in how you passed.
How was it trying to manage the tires in a race like this tonight, Dover?
I struggled early on. I thought I was doing great, and then about lap 20 into the first stage, I just felt me going backwards. So ended up going forward, backing up my entry, rolling as long as I could, and I'm surprised that I held it on that long in the final stage. I thought it would have went way sooner, but we were able to hold on, execute the pit stop, and get by Tom there at the end and get 3rd.
So on that note, 2 races before the cutoff for the postseason. Your thoughts coming up to Legacy Atlanta?
I think I've run well there in the past. I'd have to definitely get some practice laps in there. That's definitely a tire eater as well, just like Dover. And then Talladega, I'm not really a fan of the plate track, so I'll probably just be out in the back waiting for the playoffs.
Any show would you like to give tonight?
I want to thank AI Chief for sponsoring us this season, as well as Leroy for picking up the race for us. I want to thank you up in the booth for broadcasting for us. I want to thank Tom for running this great league we participate in. And I want to thank Mom and Dad.
Congrats on the podium tonight, Andrew.
Thank you.
Andrew Caldwell gets in the top 3 this evening. Frank DiMaggio gets himself in 2nd. Frank, you got a much-needed points run with how things are going in the postseason battle for the cut line. Where did the speed come from?
I think it came getting to pit road on that green flag stop and the long runs. I think at the start of that final stage, it was around 8th, 9th, 10th, around there, and then we drove our way up to 2nd right before the pit stop. So I almost sped getting on the pit road, but it worked out in the end, and we were able to keep Greg honest there at the end.
Sure looked like it with the way you were able to get at least in front of him for a little bit, or at least up to the bumper, I should rather say, here this evening. And obviously, entering tonight, we talked about the conversation. You're amongst those that are below the cut, but also below the marker for the wild card. What's kind of the game plan now that you picked up big stage points tonight, now knowing you were able to outscore Eric Anderson at the very least to try and trim that gap down a bit?
Truthfully, I don't really look at the point standings. I just show up and race, and if we run well, the points will take care of themselves. If qualifying has definitely helped the last few weeks, but it's a little bit different than driving through the field. But yeah, like I say, it's just we'll run up front, we'll try and run smart, and let the points worry about themselves.
So on that note, obviously, Atlanta is going to be a legacy track. How do you feel about your previous experiences at that racetrack, which is pre-super speedway Atlanta?
the year that I won the championship here in Cyber, our final race was at the old Atlanta. So I think I'll be okay if we can run 5th to 10th. I'll be satisfied there. Mostly everybody runs the new configuration, so it's been a while since I've raced there, but we'll see if we can keep the fenders clean, the tires on it, and we'll have a good run if we can do that.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
I want to say thanks to Leroy for sponsoring the race, AI Chief for sponsoring the season, Greg, Crank, Gary, and Ed, my teammates there. They're a lot of fun to be with during the race and strategize and see what we can do. But I just want to say thanks to my wife for letting me race, as she's texting me that I'm a loser for giving an interview, but we'll attend to that later. And I want to say thanks to everyone else at Cyber.
Congratulations on the podium.
Thank you.
Frank DiMaggio coming away second spot tonight. Greg Mitchell. What else can he say, Greg? You pick up win number 5. What stands out the most for this win?
Shoot, I don't know. I guess it was kind of fun. I was just telling Andrew, me, him, and Tom ran the 24-hour this year, and so it was 3 of our four teammates. Kind of cool running with them, but yeah, Dover's always a fun one. I enjoy the 1 mile size. It's kind of got a short track feel. I felt like the outside was faster tonight, but I was actually scared of the tire wear, the tire heat at least. So I just kept it on the bottom and tried to keep some track position. That's kind of the name of the game tonight.
Definitely so with the track like this, and of course you had to fight a little bit with the stages. Whereas the game plan always just focus on the end of the race points and dominate the laps that way? Were you focused at all on stage points to help add an extra cushion to playoff points, or no?
Yeah, I think I just naturally am racing for points at all times because that's just how the season's structured. So it's just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to not. So I always want to position myself to get stage points, and but more specifically, I want to be positioned out of stage, going into stage 3. That's my number 1 goal. So I knew the guys in the back of the pack were smart to take tires middle of the second stage. We have an extra set usually, so it's really smart on their part to get that track position at that time. So I kind of knew I wasn't going to win the stages where those cautions fell, but as long as I could be in the top 5 with an extra set for that last stint, I felt like I was going to be in pretty good shape.
How do you feel about next week?
Where are we? Atlanta?
Yes.
Atlanta, and I think it's old Atlanta, I guess. I don't know,
it is.
But okay. It's good. I like that one. It's super loose no matter where you're at around that one. So we're going to be chasing the car the whole way around. It's really bumpy too. So it's fun in the trucks. We'll see how it is in this car, but yeah, that's a fun one too. Looking forward to it.
Anyone want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Thank you for the power staying on this week. That's always helpful. And thanks to you guys for running the broadcast. And thanks to Leroy for sponsoring tonight. Thanks to AI Chief for sponsoring the series. And say hi to my family as always.
Congratulations on the win tonight, Greg.
All right, thank you.
Greg Mitchell. Win number 5 this season. I'd like to thank him and everyone for post-race coverage, interviews here on Precision Entertainment. As mentioned, we're going to Old Atlanta. This is Echo Park Speedway now in real life. But Atlanta Motor Speedway 2008 was still with the old pavement and is known for having the Hot Atlanta label to it. That'll be next Tuesday, June 9th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch that here on Precision. But on that note, it's just about time to say goodbye for tonight's festivities here for Cyber Thunder and the Rush Championship Series presented by AI Chief. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in for tonight's coverage of what was an interesting one from Dover and a dominant one for the overall race, at least, for car 55. I'd like to once again thank all those involved with the league side for being a part of this coverage. Also, I'd like to thank AI Chief for sponsoring this series. For more information, go to AIChiefRacing.com. On that note, it's time to say goodbye. For my producer, once again, Ryan Bauer. For the cameras, Revive at Whiplash Sim Cams, I'm Justin Prince, saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Watching tonight's coverage of the Monster 200 at Dover Motor Speedway. See you next time from Hampton, Georgia.